Alright guys, it's your boy J Pizzy. We're back with another Sky Striker video. I'm going to be doing an in-depth guide today. We're going to be breaking down this deck card by card of how it goes up against Master Duel's meta currently for Season 13. So obviously we're going to start off with Raye. Raye is our starter. She's such an amazing card and she looks gorgeous. Look at her, wifey material. Anyway, you normal summon her, your opponent activates Effect Veiler. You can use her quick effect, tribute her, send her to the graveyard, and special summon any of your Sky Striker monsters from your extra deck. Usually if you're doing this, you're either playing second or you're playing first. Doesn't really matter. Use Raye as a way to bait out your opponent's hand. The game of Sky Striker is to have your opponent use the 5 to 6 cards that they've already have in their hand on first turn, or on second turn, have your opponent use as much interruptions before you can actually start playing the game. That's the rules of Sky Striker. So first things first, engage. You draw engage. You never ever want to search Raye. There's easier ways to get to your Raye or Rose. If you use engage, you would rather search your Widow Anchor. It makes your opponent want to negate. It makes your opponent eat a negate. Right now you have 5 other cards in your hands that's potential starters that can make your opponent not be able to play the game. So you play engage, you're gonna bait out Ash. I always use engage on first turn as a bait. Engage is a bait at all times on first turn. Second turn, engage is not a bait because you can special summon Kagari, bring engage back to hand, and then use engage again. This time your opponent is less likely to be able to negate your engage, and this time you're able to get off a search for either jamming to destroy a set spell or trap on the field, and or afterburners to be able to destroy a monster on the field and destroy a spell or trap card that your opponent currently controls. So let me explain this rotation thing a little bit. Rotation is basically what cards you have in your hand, on your field, and in your graveyard. Sky Striker is a very reliable deck in terms of being able to recycle cards from your graveyard into your hand. You have 2 recycles. You have 2 recycles in Kagari, and then you have a multi-roll 5 recycle if possible, if you play 5 Sky Striker cards in that turn, which is possible. If you draw into Widow Anchor, you draw into engage, you draw into multi-roll, you draw into afterburners. I mean, this is an ideal situation, but it is such an amazing card, multi-roll. You're able to set back all your cards from your graveyard and just reoccur so much value. You can use multi-roll to place engage back on your field, activate engage's effect, and you're able to now draw a card if you have 3 spell cards in your graveyard, and you're able to grab a specific Sky Striker card that you want from your deck. I'm telling you guys, multi-roll Kagari is your recursion, right? It's what controls your rotation. So Kagari is able to bring cards from your graveyard back to your hand, and multi-roll is able to bring your cards from your graveyard back to the field. What that means is you have 2 ways of bringing cards from your graveyard back to your hand, and you have unlimited ways, based on how many times you've activated Sky Striker cards, to bring cards back from your graveyard to your field using multi-roll. Now, I personally only use multi-roll for quick play spells from my graveyard to the field. The reason being is they're able to be activated on my opponent's turn. I don't have to worry about not being able to activate them, and I'd rather bring engage back to my hand on my turn, and or using Raye as a special summon on my opponent's turn to be able to bring it back to my hand, so that when they kill off Kagari, I'm able to now use engage, draw 1 card, and add a Sky Striker monster from, not monster, but add a Sky Striker card from my deck to my hand. So now I have +2 off of 1 engage from Kagari coming back to field. Now just remember that the rotation is Kagari gives you a +2 or a possible +2 off of engage coming back to your hand. And then if you use multi-roll to set engage back to the field, it's a little bit too risky in my opinion, so I try to avoid doing that, and you should too. The other great dynamic about this deck is King Regulus, the Therion package. So if you draw into this Coliseum, you instantly have an auto negate on your opponent's turn. What you do is you activate this Coliseum, you get Therion King Regulus from your deck to your hand, you special summon Shizuku, or not Shizuku, misspoke, you special summon Hayate, and then you use Hayate to special summon Shizuku, this is first turn, and then you use King Regulus to special summon with Hayate coming back to your spell and trap card zone. So now you have interruption on your opponent's turn. If you had multi-roll drawn in your hand, you're able to now use multi-roll to then use Shizuku's effect to bring Widow Anchor to your hand, and then activate Widow Anchor, negate your own Shizuku, and now you have 2 negates, because multi-roll is going to set Widow Anchor from your graveyard back to your field. So that's 2 negates. You have King Regulus. Obviously, you have to use King Regulus first before you're able to use Widow Anchor. But once you activate King Regulus, then you're able to activate Widow Anchor, and that's 2 negates. If you have Rose in the graveyard, if your opponent attacks into your Shizuku, you can now special summon Rose. And if they have another attack, you can now special summon Kayana, and Kayana can stop the attack altogether. And then multi-roll is going to be able to activate to now bring back your Widow Anchor at the... Actually, no, your Widow Anchor would be banished. I misspoke there. But any other spell Sky Striker card that you may have activated that turn, you're now able to bring back the turn before. You're now able to bring back from your graveyard and set it on the field. If your opponent's ending their turn, you can probably get away with bringing Engage back and then activating Engage instead of special summoning Kagari to get Engage. You can use Kiana, special summon Kagari, after you activate your Engage, so now bring your Engage back to your hand again. This is the rotation I'm talking about, guys. It is such an amazing rotation. You bring Engage back to your hand, you activate it again. That's 2 searches in the same turn and 2 possible draws off of multi-roll being on the field and Kagari being special summoned on your turn. This deck is insane. The reoccursion that you can set up from just simple cards is so technically good. So next I'm going to talk about all the hand traps in the deck. Personally, I use Imperm. Imperm is one of the hardest cards to stop. They need the 1 card out for Imperm, and that's on their turn. They can't really do anything on my turn, right? Especially if I go first. If I Imperm something that they possibly special summon from their hand during my first turn, okay, please what? Nothing. They have Crossout Designator. That's their only out. And if the Crossout Designator is set to 1, the chances are they don't have it. So you activate Imperm, you get a free negate on board. Sometimes it's better to know that your opponent is going to be able to negate one of your Widow Anchors, and then using your Widow Anchor, having it be negated, and then using your Imperm. Another great card that I have in this deck that I want to talk about is Linkage. Linkage allows you to OTK your opponents. It's such an amazing card. It's such an amazing card. If you have Raye and Linkage and you have an open field, your opponent has no interruptions, you can normal summon Raye, attack into your opponent, activate Raye's effect, special summon Hayate. Hayate attack your opponent. That's another 1500. That's 3000 attack, 3000 life points gone. Hayate's effect is going to activate. You dump Rose from your deck to your graveyard. You then activate Linkage, send Hayate to the graveyard, special summon Kagari. Kagari is now going to be 2500 attack points because Rose and Raye is in the graveyard. You attack your opponent for 2500, and then you bring your Linkage back to your hand using your Kagari. You activate Linkage again, and then you bring your Shizuku to field with 2500 attack points, and you hit your opponent for game. This is such an amazing OTK. I've gotten it off so many times. So many times I was able to just bait out opponents' negates, and then use the Linkage Raye combo to just destroy them first turn kill. Imperial Iron Wall. Imperial Iron Wall wins you so many games in this meta. You win against Weather Painters, you win against Branded, you win against Sword Soul for the most part, because they can't banish to send your cards from your field to your hand. They can't banish to activate their Long Yang. They can't banish to activate their Xing Yang. They can't banish to activate nothing. The only play they have is Baron. And if you're able to negate the Baron and stop the Baron from being able to play, you have an easy win with Imperial Iron Wall, okay? Imperial Iron Wall absolutely destroys Runic. Runic has no way to play the game if you have Imperial Iron Wall on the field. Branded as well. Branded absolutely gets destroyed by Imperial Iron Wall because they have no way to activate Branded opening. You null out their Mary Jade. There's no way for their Mary Jade to banish. Imperial Iron Wall wins you games. It's a 1-card win. It's Nibiru for this meta. Okay, so play it. Play it, play it, play it, play it. I have no other comment about Imperial Iron Wall. You have to play this card. The Other last combo that I want to mention before we get out of here is using Area 0. Area 0 plus Raye is a free search and a free special summon. Okay, you activate Area 0, you special summon Raye, you activate Area 0 as effect. You are able to now special summon Suzuku. This is on your turn, first turn, and now you're able to get a free search from Area 0. Hopefully you search into a Widow Anchor, or maybe you search into a multi-roll, because now you search into a multi-roll, you play multi-roll, you activate Shizuku's effect on end phase, you activate Widow's Anchor comes to your hand, you negate your Shizuku. I already said all of this, and then you just set Widow Anchor to the field, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's 10 minutes long. Hopefully we can cut it down a little bit, and I hope you guys are having fun playing this new meta. Yeah, watch out for Terra Elements and Sprite, because they're on the way. And Konami, shout out to you guys for putting Linkage in the game, even though we still don't have Illusion of Chaos.